This should be a lot better. 1 2 1 2 1. This is a bit low. I'm gonna do my best to. Yeah, this is about right. Whoever's in the chat, can you let me know if you can hear me? And Hathicorn, of course you're here. How are you doing? You're probably the most regular person right now. How are you doing? This calls for one of these. Yellow Butterfly, how are you doing? So welcome. Welcome and thank you. So, yeah, there's not a lot of people in the chat, but that's okay. We're gonna just get going. I'm not sure. I'm recording this, but I'm not sure if I'll do a stream recap. You'll see what I mean. It's already a piece I was working on. I'm just trying to complete it, and the goal of the previous recap was just to show quickly how to do stuff, not to complete the piece. But I don't know. I was messing around tonight with one of my Juno 6 boutique repro stuff, and I was liking the sounds, and I was like, oh yeah, I could maybe use one of those to finish a piece I was working on a while back. So I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. It's going to be another slow stream. It's just very chilled, and I'm going to do some synth stuff. I was supposed to record the the next cover, or start recording the next cover, and I don't know, I didn't feel like it. I started tidying stuff, and yeah, I was like, don't feel like it, so maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. It could mean that there's no cover next week, but that's all right. I mean, I've been doing okay, releasing a cover almost every week now. So there'll be another video on Monday anyway, but it won't be a cover. Anyway, let's load this software. All right. So hopefully you can see Ableton Live. Oh, you know what? I have this thing as well. Let's see if I can use it. I have this old iPad that I never really use for anything, but it has. Let me launch this. I might need to restart everything. Yeah, but it has a software that syncs to Ableton. So you probably won't be able to see it because it's too dark. This camera is way too dark. Let me. Your setup looks really cool. It's fairly recent. I mean, I acquired some new equipment recently. All that stuff is sort of new. This is new-ish. This was sent by a friend and viewer, Leo. It's one of those Ableton touchpad, and this I made myself. It's a MIDI controller, and that's why I wanted to do some synth stuff actually, because I finalized it tonight. I was able to get it to work somewhat stable. It's an Arduino-based MIDI controller, and it's all knobs and stuff like that. It's not complete. I want some buttons and test stuff here. And then I have more, like I have a couple of the Korg Volca stuff here, over there. I need to find room for here. I have a 505 here. I'm not sure if I need it, strictly speaking, and this is gonna get replaced. This is a small Korg step sequencer, and I'd like to get one of those Arturia Beat Step Pro. It's gonna be more versatile for that. Not that I do a lot of analog stuff or just pure MIDI stuff. I use a DAW, but it's just it's cool to just mess around, explore stuff without having to load presets and a DAW and free the computer for other stuff. Yeah, sorry, I was going to just close that, reopen it. Is this guy? Yeah. This is my hometown of Saint-Malo in France. Now, is this gonna work? And also, Connecting. There you go. It's picked up the. Oh, that's awesome. It picks up whatever session we record. So if I load the session I want to work on, and I'm gonna work on that synth stuff I recorded a while back. I put the. You have to go yellow butterfly. That's all right. That's all right. Try to catch another one of the stream later though. I'll tell you what. I actually have a channel where I put the entirety of the stream. Let me grab the link to it, because the videos don't stay too long on Twitch, so I put them on a separate channel, and I put them on a separate video. And please don't start. And I put them on a separate video altogether, a separate channel. Sorry, copy link image, and then I do stream recap as well on the main channel. But this is oh no, copy link. Zip. It's anyway. So, and I put the stream recaps on the main channel, but I'm not sure if I'll do a recap. I'm recording this anyway. We'll see. So what I want to do is continue this project, which was that kind of synth driving type of project that I wrote a while back. What am I doing here? No, I don't want to save it. Come on. That I recorded live a couple. Was it 2 weeks ago now or 3 weeks ago? I can't remember. And just maybe bring in some of the synth sound here, something like that. And this was it. Hear this quite a lot tonight because I'm just gonna play it and repeat until I find something that inspires me, I suppose. I want maybe more chords, just thicker chords coming in. The big sort of mellow, sort of cyberpunky, not cyberpunk, but what's that film? Blade Runner-y type of chords, and maybe a Moog soloing part. But, you know, these harps could actually do with just mixer track volume with actually just going low, slightly lower. Not by much, but lose a couple of decibels. We'll bring that in over. You like the reverb? There's two. It's not reverb. It's I seldom use reverb actually. It's a delay, and it's two delays on this guy. That's the main one. So there's this KH delay here. And that goes on for a while, and I have a delay that's offset again, so it's not in sync with this one. It's in sync with the beat, but it's not. The two delays are not in sync together. So this one actually will catch also the delay on this and put a delay on that as well. So it gets kind of wild, but it's much lower. And if I enable the two. So it creates. Oh yeah, and I have it set in something that's not a multiple of 2. So it sort of creates that pattern that repeats, but at a much longer rate than the pattern itself, which just creates textures within textures. That's how you get that sort of really cool harp sound. Anyway. So, oh yeah, it's something I meant to do. You can actually see, so I have it set here so I can see the faders, and I can actually enable or solo tracks. You can see the on the screen as I press the button, it solos some tracks or not. I mean, I can do quite a bit of control here, but I just have it set up to just the main faders, and actually there's another one I can do, which is what is this set to? Crossfaders, toggles. Yeah, actually that's just the toggles. I can have panning. Anyway, doesn't matter. And here I have this if I wanted to trigger events, but I don't really use the live session aspect of Ableton. I sort of treat it like a normal DAW, recording DAW. Should I say DAW or DAW? Which is the correct term? Is it DAW or DAW? I never know. And people get really uptight about that kind of stuff. So, chords. I just want to put some chords over this. And I thought... I'm not sure. Can you hear this, actually, if I play this? Probably not. Yeah, you can, okay. Actually, these are cool. You'll probably... Can you hear it on one side only? I can only hear it on one side, but it's probably because... let me do this. You're hearing it on both. That's fair enough. That's good. It's interesting. I'm actually seeing... I'm not even sure what you're hearing because I'm not seeing any monitors for this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There you go. So I found this sound. This is with the Juno 6 boutique replica. But I want to try something first. I want to actually control this with this keyboard. I have the MIDI connected already, but I want to control it with this keyboard. And because here what I'm recording is the actual sound, I want to write the MIDI for it. That's going to trigger the sound. I'm recording the actual sound. It's going to get a bit awkward. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to insert a MIDI track. And with this MIDI track, yeah, it's being controlled by this guy. That's fair enough. And the output is going to be... what am I doing here? It's sending the MIDI to this audio device, which should send a controller here. There you go. That worked. So, next. these type of chords. That's a very simple. What is it? D minor. What is it? A sharp. Major. G minor. Very simple. Says I couldn't even name them. I'm getting better with the keyboard. I am learning, and I am taking lessons. So I'm getting slightly better. I won't be a virtuoso anytime soon, but I'm getting to know my chords and that kind of stuff. So let me think. Can I disable that? The reason I want to do this is I can actually record the MIDI like that, and I can modify the sound to suit. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm just going to record the MIDI. Does that work? We need to quantize all this. No, okay. Whoa. Because I'm a terrible piano player. So let's try this. I'm actually sending this to this guy. So if I press record here, nothing happens. No, it's because I'm recording on both. Yeah, that works. Cool. Just answer your question by using it. Fair enough. Good, because that way we'll get the actual sound. Now I just want to do something and just slightly modify that sound. So oh no, we need that. Okay. And I'm gonna shut up for a minute, and then we'll actually I have it on loop. Okay, Belton, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? shortcuts weren't working for some reason. Or is my keyboard just dodgy? I just answered the question. See, fair enough. Fair enough. Actually, I'm gonna move over there. And yeah, I just want to loop this section here. You're supposed to loop. It's probably too loud as well, but I'm just gonna toy around for a minute. Still a bit harsh, isn't it? add some bass in this. So there's going to be a lot of that. Oh, yeah. Let's record this. We'll record. What I actually want is if we record here, because there's a lot of echo and delay and a long sustain and release. When I play these chords, they're going to continue until over there, and that's actually not. That's actually not where it should be. What are you doing to me? There you go. So when we play these as we record, if we stop the recording here, when it loops over, it's gonna stop playing these notes that should be playing when these are playing. So it's probably going to be this section. So we need to record all three so we get this sort of middle section that we can take and loop over. Oh, I'm loving the sound. Damn it, loop. You thought it's just as well actually because I had my mic. I'm going to turn off my mic while this is recording so that way I don't record any background noise with it. That's all we need. So we can take this section here and this section here, and you see what I mean. The difference between, so there's probably a little bit of latency, like this might not actually, yeah, you can see this doesn't quite start exactly right at the microsecond as this starts, but that's okay actually. Just you can actually, it's very visible here. Ideally we should be there you go, that's what we should be doing. And that's because the software needs to go, actually that's even more, but that's all right. It just adds a bit of more natural feel. So if I just solo this, you hear this sound, and if I record this on these notes here, and they will last into this chord here. So that's what I wanted to record as well. It doesn't sound like much, but it your brain will pick it up sometimes. It has the remnant of that previous chord that we played. So that's why I wanted to let it play through. And this is the section we're going to take. And then we're going to use... I've got to be precise here. And here as well. There you go. And we'll make that our loop. And zoop. And now this is our entire loop. What a cool sound. Like it's a small synth, but actually, you know, it's quite powerful if I can actually get to record it. Why aren't you like recording? That's really odd. Making a sound. Oh yeah. Oh, it's because I'm soloing this. Wasn't that a dead mouse gonna... What was that tune called? Ding, dee, doo, doo. Can't remember. Oh, great. My Streamlab is freaking out again. I've lost all meters. I don't know what's going on. Streamlab doesn't like me streaming my DAW. And it seems to just freeze, crash, reset. But it's still working. Obviously, it's still streaming. Can you still hear me fine? Is this still making a sound? Everything okay? Still hearing everything fair enough. It's just Streamlabs doesn't like my DAW. So now we've recorded the MIDI from here. And that's why I like to do it like that. I can record the MIDI, can still record it with the keyboard, but save that as sort of a template, and then we can use that to record an actual audio, which is much better than using a VST, I find. Maybe not. But after that, we don't really need that. I'm just going to keep it for, you know, for keeping it sake, but that's it. Very quickly, if we're layering stuff like that, we're gonna get into it. Should we send these chords and these pads into a sidechain, or should we actually, you know, let me try a transgate, which is not designed for that, but it can act as a very crude LFO, which is essentially what a sidechain is. Kilohertz gate, no. Transgate is going into this guy. Let's try this. And if we set it, that's okay, you don't need to record it. If we set it to it's not what I wanted to do, but is there something there? Maybe not. So what I wanted to do is something like that. Is that it? No, so we need everything. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's not at all what I wanted to do. It actually reapplies an ADSR on each of these steps. Increase it? Would it just make things sound just weird? That sort of even out. So the reason I'm doing that is because that kick is slightly offbeat. I'm trying to see if there's alternatives to using just chain compressor. Too visible, so let's forget that for a minute. Let's see if we can. Oh no, this one doesn't. Beach Mouse, how are you doing? Why don't I record synth stuff? That's what I'm doing. one of you Peg or Peggy on Twitter? By the way, I'm trying to figure out who's right. Is that you, please? Yeah, that works better than actually compressor. It just doesn't drown. It's dangerous to drown the kick when you have too many of these type of chords coming in. I might. I'm gonna put one on the bass as well, and yeah, these two. That bass is gonna conflict with the kick, so I'm just gonna put one as well on the kick, on the bass. Your bass and kick will want to fight for those low ends, so typically the kick will lose that battle, and it will get drowned in the low end with the bass and other stuff and some of the chords like that. So it's usually in EDM, it's good practice to put or in synth stuff to put those sidechain compressor that will actually just drop the sound of the instrument when the kick comes in, so you get those nice loud kicks. It's not so much of a problem. It can be a problem on the snare, but usually the snare will have a lot more high ends and mids, but you want those low ends in the kick to really come through. Otherwise, if you lose them, you sort of lose the essence of the of having those strong kicks in the first place. You like the PJs, by the way? But yeah, no, I told you this was going to be a just very slow, mellow stream, and I'm not actually trying to demonstrate anything. I'm just trying to just continue on working. Kick, it shows you where that kick, so you set it to whatever track you want to sidechain it to, and it tells you where your kick is coming in. So it's at those levels, like it's not really going much above 10 dB. It's actually reaching that. So yeah, you want to make sure that kick goes over the whatever threshold you set it at. So now you can see the compression on your bass. So if we, let's just say, actually we probably can't hear it because yeah, you can just about hear it. Actually, it's not making much of a. Yeah, the attack is really strong actually. There you go. So now it's gonna create a lot more space for the kick. Sure, I wasn't serious. I'm already serious on Twitter, even when I'm saying silly things. I like that sound. I'm not sure I like those chords. Should they be lower? Come on. that's really odd. Why aren't you playing now? Because I need to arm you. Now I have that dead mouse. Should I play them lower? No. I think that's right. So the objective was so the kick is more present on the track, so the bass doesn't overpower it. That's exactly it, yeah. So it's, I mean, it's not a big difference, but when you start laying an instrument, your kick will get drowned. It's inevitable. So this is oh yeah. It's still somewhat present, you know, but it's just. There's already a difference. In fact, we could probably apply one here as well. This stage, if I'm doing that on many tracks, I might as well just create one of those sand tracks. It's okay, it'll be okay. It's like it's more isolated. Well, yeah, it's just when you're dipping everything else that conflicts with it right when it kicks in. So you want to get the attack, which is how quickly the sound rises to maximum volume, and the release, how quickly it fades. So you want to time that to the kick as well. So here we're going to do the same stuff. We might be a bit more drastic on this one. Like very. Kill it altogether. If we put these tracks together, you'll sort of start hearing a sort of pulsing sound. In a lot of EDM, you'll hear those sort of pulses. Boom, 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 boom. That's a heavy sidechain compression. That kick is already much clearer. And it doesn't sound like we've affected the tune itself. It's just we've actually just helped the kick just shine through. I don't use this on my covers or anything like that. It's a very EDM specific type of stuff, technique. And usually on acoustic stuff, I usually say if you start needing to use sidechains because there's a problem with your mix to start with. But on EDM, it's sort of accepted that you can use quite heavy sidechain like that. Very often you hear that sort of pulsing in the chords as the kick is going, and it's quite acceptable and actually encouraged. You know, I usually this type of stuff will age your music, though. That's my only issue with it. It will anchor it in a certain era, because sidechain just wasn't there, you know, in the 80s or 90s, really, not in that form. So it will tie it to a certain period and time, but that's okay. That's okay. But for acoustic stuff, I don't like using a sidechain. Double Toed, how are you doing? Hi again. Hi again. I mean, it seems to be streaming twice a day these days, and really most of the day. Just bear with me. Oh, here. I forgot what I was saying. A friend was showing off his deck, so I'm sending deck pics. Yeah, so I think what we add, I'd like to maybe have this melody going, something like that. A little EQ on this wouldn't hurt either. I'm not recording flute tonight. See all this booming low end? We can certainly kill that. And actually here yeah, there we go. It's just gonna muddy your sound and keep as much as you can. Put an EQ on most instruments and try to isolate isolate its frequency to where you want the instrument to be. So I don't really want those booming low ends. I'm just interested in the immediate low here. We're gonna crank that up quite drastically. And those highs. The middle stuff we can dip, so I'm just gonna add another one here. Dip them, and here I'm not interested in any of that. There's no like really high frequencies above 10k, but I'm still gonna dip them just in case. And it's good practice usually to try and just keep that instrument or whatever track you want to be within those EQ parameters that you want it to be. And force it there in a way. That's what I do with the acoustic instruments, and that's one of the reasons why I can have like a layer different, like a few accordions and two lead mandolin and the harmony on the banjo and etc. So many instruments, and it still sounds clear. The reason is because I forced the EQ of each instrument into a certain place, so everything sounds clear. Nothing overlaps too much. Some overlap if you want it sometimes to be, but nothing overlaps too much, and everything sounds clear and well defined. You can actually pick out every single instrument. If you don't do that, everything is going to meet somewhere in the middle. Your basses are going to be muddied. You're going to lose a lot of the qualities of stuff like the accordion or the lovely high mids of the mandolin and stuff like that. So I usually force the EQ that way, just to make everything sit. Works like a filter of some kind. Yeah, of course. Yeah, EQ filter is just an EQ. Really, if you can have a low pass or high pass filter. What I'm doing here, you see that 8 here? That's a pass filter. This type of a little squiggly line. That's a high pass filter. That's a low pass filter, or whichever is which. I keep forgetting which is which. But here we're just applying just a low pass or high pass or whatever it is. I forget. Filter is just an EQ. So is a wah-wah. A wah-wah is just, you're taking a band and you're sliding it across the band like that. That's what you're doing with a wah-wah. That's a wah pedal. Gotta sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, that's all the wah pedal is. Sorry, somebody say. What next? Maybe some. Let's listen to the whole thing. There's ozone imager. Have I saved already? No. I have now. Story of my life this. Maybe effects, no. Actually. Stereo in the stock Ableton. Well, stock Ableton plugins and instruments are actually quite good. You'll get away with a lot of stuff. But it's not what I'm looking for. You know, ozone imager in my plugins. Can't go wrong with this thing. What? Why aren't you? Wow, that's amazing. It has no stereo info. But even so, I mean, that's better. I'm only interested in this instrument for the texturing sort of. I would actually come way late here. I left the loop in, sorry. Yeah, it's more on one side than another. Although I'm looking at the meter here. Could force it to the right slightly. a smidge. What I actually need to do is actually put the compressor at the end of that chain. To compress the entire, because now we're sending stereo and actually there's no delay or anything like that that could bring the sound further down the timeline, but it's usually good practice to put your chain compressor at the end because it dips everything then. That's the other thing, when you add effects you need to think about the chain of effect, you know. There's a logical way to put things, so you know, you'd put your obviously your limiter at the end because that limits your sound, or your compressor, which is a limiter, a time limiter in a way. How you organize things, like I like to have reverb and then delay because I like the delay to be applied to reverb. Some people like to have the reverb applied to the delay, so it's personal choice. You can also do both, have reverb, put a delay, a strong delay, and then a slight reverb on that to smooth everything out. I like to put the EQ after that, then my widener, ozone imager, and then my limiter. And usually have the compressor at the beginning of the chain as well, just to make sure there's no peaks in my audio, or there's no not too much gap between the peaks and the dips, and then I put the limiter at the end just to make sure there's no peaks after I've applied all my effects, and because it changes obviously the dynamics. Yeah, so in this case, chain compressor at the end. So is this okay? Yeah, actually, that's just a texturing. We might have something else, like an effect or something. Like those, it's a shame I didn't get those chimes. I do have a little chimey sort of sound that I made with all my bells put together. Let me see. Or is it? Oops, recording. User library, no. Should be here. Why isn't it here? Show me an Explorer. Yeah, why aren't you showing my... Oh, that's because I have a search set. Okay. So these are actually all little, my own kind of samples and bits. So whenever I record something that I really like, for Bloodborns, I had these all these little bells sound. This is the cowbell. This was a little, whatever chandelier I made from little Coke can tops that I put together on a stick and just started shaking. So I have a lot of these stuff. Effects. Rain stick. There you go. More bells. So it's not like a chime because it's tuned. The chime would be tuned. I have the didgeridoo here, by the way. It's right here. You can see the box. It's a long box, and I'm waiting to open it because I want to open it with the chimes all at once. You're using a compressor in an app to amplify the sound. Well, it can do that if you use that to compress up as well. Yeah, it can sort of. But of course, like you said, yes, it will bring a lot of white noise because what it does is it brings up the all the low sounds up drastically. If you use that as an amplifier, it's a bad idea, because it will amplify all your white noise that's lying underneath, like, you know. So all your stuff that you wouldn't normally hear, you start hearing it even more. Yeah, it's not the best idea to use a compressor for that. Compressor should be ideally used sparingly or in conjunction with a limiter, and it's just to prevent the lows from being too lows and the highs from being too high when you're using it in that setup. When you're mastering, it's a different story, because you have all these elements, and now you can apply different types of compressor just to sort of equalize your sound into one of those just straight thick band, and not something that is like that, like very dynamic and with lots of peaks. You want something that's just even all the way through, you know. So, but only when you're mastering. If you do that on single instruments, you'll introduce too much white noise. You lose a lot of the characteristics and dynamic characteristic of your sound. What was I doing? I forgot. Oh yes, bells, chimes stuff, or fake chimes. I have the bells here. I could record them, but usually for stuff like that, because I have pre-recorded stuff and we can layer it super low, that's gonna be nice. You'll see what I mean. We'll put 3 layers of chimes. We'll send one. This is gonna be a center one. Yeah, and we can send this left, send this one right. And then we're gonna have just and maybe then I'm gonna sneeze again. And maybe then have some symbol or something like that. I'm gonna use a placeholder and use, because I'm in this folder, and use my own recordings of banjo slide skin. But actually, one thing we can do is use another one. Yeah, a short one that we will reverse. How do you reverse in this? Is there a reverse option? Is it here? Edit, reverse. There you go. So you get this cool sound when you reverse a cymbal. It's just, it works with drums. Anything that has a really high attack like this, you know, that's what I mean by attack. Like it's really high initially for a very short period of time, and then it just drops. Yeah, okay. No, well, never mind. This'll work. So also, I don't want it that loud, so we're gonna... You get the cymbal, you get the sound of the cymbal, and then all these is probably a bit high. Yeah, there you go. I actually like it. I prefer that sound to an actual cymbal. It's got a lot more white noise, and I do like those sort of white noisy type of cymbal. It's why, you know, I did it on the banjo. have an actual cymbal I could have recorded. I have one of those. I could have recorded that sound and just used that as the actual cymbal in my covers, but I sort of like this sort of white noise effect more than the actual sound of a cymbal. It's got sort of that airy sort of feel, you know, something that's you've opened a valve somewhere and released some pressure. And I very much like that sound, even in my acoustic stuff, so that's why I use it. Hey, Cook Chicory, how are you doing? Is it on? Has he finished? I joined in very briefly at the beginning, but I was going to stream myself, so how was it? Is he still going? Is he still there? I know he's done streaming. There you go. Do you know we'll do the same thing actually? We'll just bring those chimes in every time this repeats. I think this is gonna be... Whoa! Phone, why won't you charge? Can I, no. Okay. Not very good at it, but it was cool. Do you know, I'm not very good at those quiz either, even the video game music ones. I did one for a friend of mine. It's called the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. It's an American podcast. Chris Randazzo does it. And I was there with Adam, a square painter. I don't know if you know what he does. He's a good friend as well. So I was there with him. There was Chris. There was I don't know, a few other YouTuber people, and it was just a music quiz, and I came last. I came last in the video game music quiz. I think Adam Square Painter came first, and but I'm not very good at trivia in general. So even on stuff I think I'm rather knowledgeable. I still came last. And not by a lot, but a lot of it, I think it was because it was an American podcast. A lot of it was Nintendo biased, and I'm not super familiar with a lot of Nintendo OSTs in general. You know, my background would have been more Amiga, obviously MSX, Sega, and arcade. But yeah, so there was a lot of Nintendo stuff and a lot of JRPGs, which is not my wheelhouse at all. So that's my excuse. But no, I probably would have come last anyway. Some people take it very seriously. What will I do next? Maybe a little melody type of stuff. Insert another audio track. I feel the drums could be a bit louder. What do you think? They're a bit weak as well, aren't they? They could use a bit of low-end EQ. Even something basic like this. introduce some low ends on the kick itself, on the snare itself. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes in EDM, it's good. It's a bit naked without it, isn't it? I think we need that kick on the snare as well. But we'll put that on the same track so the compressor doesn't, the sidechain only comes for those first bar beat. You know, the first, the first, not bar, the first note of the bar. Arizona kick. Oh, you're not working. Okay. How about now? Okay, this guy doesn't want to work. Not to worry. I can actually, can I use this? I think I should be able to use this. No. That camera is super bright. Hold on a second. Can I do anything with it? Nope. No, it doesn't want to bring the... Okay, never mind. I thought I could actually just use that as a drum. Launchpad. Yeah, you're here. So input. Yeah, so I should be able to use you as an input. But no. What am I doing? There you go. Yeah, that's too much of a kick. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Here for the Synth, Calvin Yeri. How are you doing? How are you doing? You came to the right place. I'm just messing around at the moment with this, trying to find something I like, and I'm not quite. No reverb, but I will put some EQ because, yeah. Yeah, it had too much. Okay. What is this transition? Okay, I think it's time for. Where's this mic sound coming from in my? I don't have anything armed. Why am I hearing my mic? Anyway, doesn't matter too much. I think it's time for maybe like a MIDI track and some solo. I don't want to do the solo on this, or maybe I could find an instrument that. Go to all the presets and not find something that's I don't some cool sounds, nothing that's appropriate for it. Is that keyboard coming through? I'm not even sure because I can't see my meters are all gone. So I'm assuming they are. Where is my? Oh, Streamlabs 0. You're gone again, Streamlabs. Yeah, I'm getting another Streamlab crash. Hopefully, I'm still streaming and you can still hear me. It looks okay, but I've no way of double checking. So anyway, I'm still here. Thank you, Arthur. Just as well you're here. Old school sound. So yeah, can you hear this keyboard then? For. Nope. Well, it would be cool if they added an arpeggiator to this Juno 6 thing. Actually, there is an arpeggiator on this Juno DI. And maybe if I found a synth I like. Oh, is that super loud? Yes, it is. My main problem is how to sync that to. Oh yeah, I haven't my external MIDI input set or anything like that. I'm gonna have a hard time just syncing the MIDI in. Yeah, that's where my MIDI setup is limited. How could I get around it? No, the only way I could arpeggiate would be to actually put in a MIDI track with just handwritten arpeggios. Or yeah, I need to get my, you know what I need to get myself is a MIDI audio interface with a multiple MIDI in and out, so that way I can actually just sync my my sync here to this guy. Although hold on. Maybe there's a way to do this. Where is my input or outputs to my Juno? Terrible, but I think we're so I have a way to slow the arpeggios here. Oh, this is where I should have enter. No, not that, not that. No, exit. I don't think it's synced to my own sync. Sync to my internal sync here. There's something I can do. Oh, yeah. No, that's not doing anything. I need to think about this. I'm not. What's that? Toggle to turn link on off when link is enabled. The button will update to show how many other link enabled devices are connected. Yeah, does it? Juno, it's not syncing, so there might be something in the settings here as well. I need to look at the manual of these things, and I haven't. I've mostly used it as a piano, really, for practicing and just controlling other synths. But this is actually a very, very handy little synth. There's loads of stuff. There's a ton of synth stuff. There's a ton of folk sound almost. Maybe something like that. Have I more? That's a very Juno lead, which is what it's called. Sound, but it's off topic here. Kind of cool, that heavy reverb on it. Not a good enough piano player really to play this. Would I chance it? Something like that. Are you? Ooh. Here we go. I have a better idea. We're going to correct my terrible playing by recording this as a MIDI as we did before and sending that to this guy. You know, we don't need to link any of this. Oh, excuse me, we don't need you. Let's just see if this works. This is why. Because now I can correct all this. Something like that. Actually, we need to just repeat all that stuff for longer. Sorry, I'm not talking much here. I'm just noodling, really. it's you have a lot of control this way. Yeah, yeah, no, but it's that's a lot of synth is recorded. Well, early synths would be recorded like that, because they didn't have any MIDI. So the original Juno or Jupiter 8 or all these kind of stuff didn't have MIDI. So the way people record them is by actually playing them and recording them like that. But obviously, you lose the control. When people switch to MIDI, what they seem to like to do is just program the MIDI and then have the VSTs, like just play that kind of stuff. Or but if you want to record the actual instrument and save the sequence, that's how you need to do. You record the audio that's coming out of the synth directly. But if you do it with MIDI and with audio like that, you can actually just go over, rethink things, just add. It gives you a lot more flexibility that you wouldn't necessarily have, and that's really half of the fun. Just having that flexibility, to just change and rethink. Now, as soon as I'm gonna switch this off, I'm gonna lose those presets. So whatever I record tonight, that's it. That's what we have. But at least for that session, I do have that amount of control. Very melancholic type of stuff, but obviously it's that type of tune. Why are you not scrolling up? There you go. I think I need the new batteries in my mouse. Well, the preset is not so much the problem. Is now I'm using automation as well. That stuff. So these are all automation presets. So I need to. Well, I suppose I recorded the MIDI, so I recorded the automation as well. Yeah, I could recall the preset, but the whole point then, if I want to save that song, is because I'm controlling this synth with this keyboard that is attached to it. Earlier on, I was also controlling this synth with this as well. So it's easier to record stuff right now as we're doing it. The preset here, I'm not sure if I can save presets, custom-made presets, because I modified it slightly. And what I want to do when I record is actually play with the cutoff and resonance. With maybe another few bars of this. I don't know, I'm just gonna noodle. We're gonna do additive recording. Nope, no, not here. That's okay. like why is the oh I know because I have an automation here on the volume. Come here, come here, come here. There you go. We're not filling you out anymore. Am I using the iPad as a third screen? Yeah, I had this iPad for ages, and I was never really using it for much. I did a cover with it. That's all pretty much you've seen with it. I used to use it when I was away, working away, but so I have this, and I said this whatever it's called app that connects with Ableton. So it offers another screen. I have 4 screens here, but here's a duplicate of the main screen, so I can actually just turn here, and I still have access to my the same screen as that I have over there, so I can actually just keep an eye on the screen and keep recording properly. The reason I have it here as well is because if I want to use this synth here, the Russian synth, I just need to turn the screen and I can just access and record and bring my mouse and keyboard over there. So it's handy that way. And I have a screen here that I use for, well, it's my streaming screen, and that's my 2 main screens that I have here in front of me. But here, yeah, just have faders, track volume, just gives me an overall idea of how many tracks are used and what's being, soloed and that kind of stuff. I can actually just select stuff. It's just, at this stage, it's kind of easier to use a mouse and keyboard, really. So I'm not really using this much for much of anything. If I run out of space, that's probably going to be the first thing that goes, because it's a cool gadget, but it's just a gadget, really. We'll worry about the... something that simple. Yep. You missed somebody live. Oh, have I heard of a band called Snarky Puppy? I guess style is jazz fusion or something. I haven't, no. No, actually, if you have a link, send me. I'll check them out. I wouldn't mind hearing it. Reminded them of that with a slider on the keyboard. Yeah, it's standard keyboards, and most keyboards would have one of those. You'd have up and down, it's like portamento up and down, and then just a mod wheel. Here it's just a lever that goes up, same lever that does both everything. This one goes up, and it just, in this case, for this instrument, it's a vibrato. Sometimes it's a different thing. You missed them twice in summer. Hey Bard, how are you doing? Bard! I don't have the sound anymore. I am making music all the way into the witching hour. Yeah, what time is it? Yeah, it's it. Yeah, it's getting late. It's coming to the end here, but this is it. This is loud. Oh yeah, we need to record that thing then onto our track. And I'm gonna cut my mic so it's not picked up on the recording. I also need to quantize that track. Bard, how are you doing? You haven't been playing a lot of video games and reading a lot of books. That's absolutely fine. Look, you just sometimes you need to take a break from online as well. And people go through stuff as well. Yeah. I've been having a blast streaming. I must say, like I'm streaming the covers during the day, and the Twitch channel has been doing okay. I think we're coming close to 600 followers, and yeah, no, it's been great. It's been great, and we got a few new instruments that we got gifted. So I need to open them. I'm just waiting for the wind chime. I'm hoping they'll arrive tomorrow, and then we can open them live. So yeah, the streaming has been great. It's been lovely. Like I was on edge about it for so many years, and I'm glad I took the leap and did it. It's awkward initially. Like I'm just not very, I'm not a boisterous type of streamer or anything like that. You won't hear loud noises coming from here. So it's kind of weird still, but I'm getting there, and I think people are enjoying the chilled sort of vibe and tone. So. Okay, there was one thing I was unhappy about here initially. It was that to slide. Should be okay. Let's cut the mic again while we record. That note. We're almost there. Friendly and down to earth. Fair enough. I'll take that. I don't think Streamlabs will allow us to copy a link, but you can search Snarky Puppy. Yeah, you can send me the link as a whisper on Twitch. Cool. You like the drums. Let's try again. Oops, there you go. And it was the reason I wanted to do that as well was to play with the filter while it's recording. So now we have that MIDI track which we can disable, and latency. Thank you. Let's bring that here. Hey, Drone Mag, how are you doing? Okay, so I think we have something. I want this to be low as well. I don't. Unintrusive type of tunes. You like seeing Simon sitting on the yeah, he's there, yeah. Yeah, you can't have two cameras and not having somewhere. How do you like the setup actually? It's pretty handy, isn't it? Because here obviously you can't see anything from this front camera, but I was trying to find an angle where you'd be able to see stuff, but then talking to the camera is kind of weird. You know, I think the only place would have been here if I wanted to see all of that. So yeah, having the two cameras is kind of handy, and now you can pretty much see my setup. You missed me making this. Well, I didn't advertise it, but I'll probably do a video on it. It's just one of those nuts and bolts Arduino MIDI controller, but I changed it slightly so you could actually just have a lot of pots on it. Well, it's using multiplexer. He has that set up, but there was issues with because I used a different Arduino, and the bit shift, because of the legs, the pinout is different. So I used to change the bit shift that he does, and I've added lights as well here. So all those pots are lit. I don't know. I don't think I can lift it. It's plugged in, and the cable is only so long. But it's been handy, and I can control actually all my VSTs now with it, mapping stuff on that. So yeah, I got more into Arduinos lately. It was it's a cool way to mix the two sort of hobbies, really. But I don't want to do too much on the channel either on that kind of stuff. So that's why, you know, I'm streaming these synth stuff. Troll Mag, you got yourself an Oculus Quest. Wow. How's that? Is it good? Like I've been, I wouldn't mind owning one at some point. You know, I had an Oculus Rift for a while, and it just wasn't. It was a cool novelty, but it just wasn't good enough, really. And I was getting motion sick from it. Just queasy, you know. After about half an hour, you need to drop it because it wasn't a pleasant experience. It was quite amazing though. It was really cool, but it's just you could feel it was just the beginning of stuff, and there was a lot of adjustments. So I hear the new VR experience is completely different though. Setup is great, cool. Arduino, yeah, Arduinos are handy. Like I'm amazed I only discovered it now, but or I'm amazed, I'm ashamed, more like it. But yeah, there you go. But here it's I use
Shut
it.
up and take my
I
money.
have who's oh, I can't see anything. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Athagorn. Let's wait until we open the existing instrument though. That's really where Streamlabs. Oh yeah, but Streamlabs is freaked out, so it's not refreshing or anything like that. So I'm not seeing notifications there. Thank you very much, man. Thanks a lot. I will do the opening, and I'm dying to open it and try it. It's just it arrived. It arrived. When did it arrive? What days for Friday? Is today Friday? Yeah. So Thursday. It arrived yesterday, and I was hoping the wind chimes would arrive today, and they haven't. So maybe tomorrow if it's a courier. I think the post services are working on Saturdays as well. So I'll let you know as soon as it arrives. I'll do a dual opening, and we'll have a look. If people missed it, the little jar and the tip green progress bar. I wanted stuff like that to be transparent as possible. So I set it to a certain amount, a fixed amount, for certain type of instruments. And whenever we reached it, I buy the instrument live, and then I'll show the instrument as soon as it arrives. Well, when it arrives, I'll open it live on Twitch as well. But and the reason I'm doing it is because I was getting tips before, but it was I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable with it. So I wanted it to be transparent and just to make sure that all that money goes back into the channel and back into the music, and be transparent about it. So that's what we're doing. So far we got a sliding didgeridoo that plays, I think, does it play like 45 different keys? So it'll be good to have like those low ends on a didgeridoo, like on some tracks that I'm thinking about. We got one of those concert chimes that are surprisingly expensive, but it's those little dangly bits of metal that go that kind of stuff. And a Comanche is it's a standing sort of bowed instrument, like it's a very archaic violin. Yeah, exactly. No, and I picked the one. I tried to find the one that was actually sort of the lowest on the scale. Like Thomann is very good. They make their own. They're like the Aldi of or the Lidl of instruments. They make their own sort of off-brand stuff that is still very good and still very acceptable. I've made a whole video about cheap instruments, but they're much cheaper, but still okay quality for studio recording. So I tend to pick those, but it's still it was still what, almost 100 quid. The instrument with the crank, it's the hurdy-gurdy. That's what it's called. It's actually called the hurdy-gurdy. People, English speakers think hurdy-gurdy is the arcade and the fair that you go to, but that's actually the name of the instrument. And the name of the fair and the name of the arcade place and all that kind of stuff comes from that, because it has this sort of sound in the background of. So you go to the hurdy-gurdies. Most popular instrument of its day, hurdy-gurdy. So let me. I'm gonna grab another drink, but let me just play this from the beginning. Did you play Cyberpunk yet, Bard? This was essentially inspired by a Cyberpunk. Um, Probably just spent about an hour and a half just driving around the place at night, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I need to record something." Oops. I hear graphic cards are they're really hard to get nowadays because I was looking at my I was looking at upgrading my PC actually because I'm playing Cyberpunk on the PS4, which plays fine as far as I'm concerned. I've had two crashes and but I'm not blocked anywhere. I think it looks absolutely fine for me, and yeah, I love the game. But I was thinking about getting a beefier PC and playing it on the PC. Um, Unfortunately, I need to upgrade both my my processor and my motherboard and graphic card, and so I pretty much need to upgrade everything. And I was trying to find like what's the best option and way what's compatible with what, so I can actually maybe just get first the motherboard, um, and then the processor. But I can't do that, so I'll have to get the motherboard and processor, and even my my graphic cards. Graphic card will not cut the mustard really, so I kind of need to get everything. And then I was looking for graphic cards, and good luck. I mean, even some basic ones are just so hard to get now. What's going on? Is it are they used for what, Bitcoin mining? Is that it? There you go, miners, yeah. Bastards. Well, lucky you. That's all I can say. Middle of the shortage was able to get one. Serious shortage with COVID, yeah. Must be a great time to wake up. No one else awake and the sun is about to rise. Was that in really? Oh, he always wakes up at 4 a.m. Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, fair play to him. Well, enjoy. Yeah, it's crazy. So is that it? Is that it? Graphic cards are just being used by miners, and that's that. Bitcoin miners. By the way, I deleted my entire library account. They've actually been very rude to a few other YouTubers. People that had stuff on there and sort of questioned their Twitter nonsense. So I've decided to remove my entire library account. most of the stuff on libraries is rather distasteful as well. So I didn't want to be associated with that. But yeah, it was weird. Um, I know nothing about Bitcoin, which is the why I'm bringing this up. Um, so I didn't. It's only when I started looking at graphic cards I find out that they were used for Bitcoin mining, which still don't really understand what it's about, but whatever. So what else could I add on this track for now? I think we're okay. I might just go back and play a few bars of just. The thing is, I'd like to bring this first, so maybe move this over there. By the way, Ed Horse, we got a new emoji for when Castlevania comes on. And it's called the emoji. Yeah. There, you found it. The emoji. That was really cool to record the Juno 6. Yeah, so Bard, you missed quite a few acquisition. I got this Juno 6 boutique Roland boutique little yoke, really handy. I'll definitely get another one of these. They make a few of these, and I got this Juno DI, which is not as good as any of the other Junos really, but it's somewhere in the middle, and it does everything. Nothing really, really, really well, but everything rather well, which is for what I'm doing more than enough, because I can always change stuff in post processing. But I mean, that's a Juno DI sound, and that's the Roland Boutique Juno 6. So it's convincing enough, I think. Yeah, exactly. It sounds good enough. I have a few more bits as well. I got this recently, but it half works. One of those Roland, it half works, and one of the pots fell. Volcap kind of thing keys. And there's a pot. The volume pot doesn't work, has been bypassed, and there's one pot that has a lot of noise. So I'm gonna fix this first. But I mean, got it for what, €35. So you can't say no for something like that for 35, even if it half works. So we'll make it work properly. Yeah, I got myself a few bits. I got this thing which was a Boss sequencer. And I got it for testing because I wanted to make my own kind of low-key synth. Look, Mom, no computer has well, it makes his own stuff, but I'm not going to use the schematics. There's a few other schematics I want to use, so I'm going to use those instead and make my own. So this is going to be handy just to test them as a pattern, you know, so I can send CV volt, CV a control voltage to them and tune them properly. And this is going to be replaced very soon by a proper multi-sequencer. And I got a 505, which I like very much. It's actually what you hear here. But the I don't know. I think it's going to be easier to use one of those drum pads and using the rack instruments that are coming with Ableton, because they're actually just sampled, and I mean, this is a sampled machine as well, so I'll get more flexibility with this. So I'll probably keep this for the sake of a, I don't know, collection or whatever, and get a TR-8S or something like that down the line. I'd like to have a setup, both a DAW setup for this kind of stuff, and not necessarily a Euro rack setup, but a MIDI setup that doesn't really involve having a DAW, just for messing around and discovering sounds and just tying. And I might stream stuff as well with it at some point. By the way, speaking of which, LGR has a really cool video on his MIDI setup, which is quite a setup. It's a pricey setup, but I mean, you can afford it, and it's it's really cool, and you know, it sounds good, and he's doing exactly what it's for, which is playing around and having fun, and it sounds great. Fair play to him. So next here, you know, we're gonna just. Actually, I'm gonna refresh my ears with something else. I'll show you. I'm working on next GTA with Norm, and I haven't listened to it in a while, and I think it's terrible. But I know it's gonna sound good at the end. Don't forget to save now. I've just saved it, so I know it's gonna sound good at the end. Right now, it sounds like it doesn't sound great. But you'll see what I mean. So I took a few videos, and there's a so God, oh, it's not like there you go. And unfortunately, I might need to. Oh, his dog got sick recently. Oh, yeah, Norm is lovely. He's a nice fella. He commented. I posted a photo of the deck I was working on today. I think he's the only one who commented on it. But yeah, Norm is very nice. He's a nice, very nice dude. So everything's crashing today, and the problem is Ableton will still want to start, and when it crashes like that, good luck trying to restart it. Let's maybe wait. I might actually need to restart altogether. God. He's been working on getting a degree. Yeah, less videos for that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, he's very involved in the archiving stuff as well. Damn it. Is it even gonna want to restart? What's the name of the city in the wallpaper? It's a place called Saint-Malo. Saint Malo. Malo. It's in Brittany, in the north of France. That's my hometown. My family house is somewhere over there, so we kind of go on holiday there. And if we want to get into this town, we kind of that's our walk. Sort of daily walk. It takes about a couple of hours to and back, and then it's a good exercise. But there's surf there as well. Like it's a great place. I think if I if considering everything now this year that happened, and if I could work from anywhere, and I was giving the option, I'd probably move there and work from there. You know, very fond of the place. Yeah, I spent childhood years just sailing around that coastline. So, come on, Ableton, do stuff. Right, poor Streamlab is crashing, folks. I am going to restart, so stay in the chat, and I'll be back in 5 minutes or less. You have to leave your arcade behind. No. I know where you're getting at. You can't have them. No, they're mine. Or yeah, no, it's been discussed. There would be room for arcade machines there. Shipping is a thing, Ed. Yeah, no, I'll get them shipped. But yeah, I wouldn't. It would be hard to leave where I am here too. That's the only thing. I'm quite happy where I am as well. All right, folks. I'm just gonna cut this session. It might still be going. I don't know. It's just I can't restart Ableton for some reason. So I'm gonna reboot. Just bear with me. Stay in the chat. I'll be back in 2-3 minutes, maybe less.